Greetings from Podcastville. It's Monday, the 9th of December. The church is brought to you by Manscaped, the best and below-the-belt grooming. Christmas is coming. If you're here to unwrap your present, you got to trim that tree, dog. Get Manscaped. They created the only tool you need to shave your ball sack. It's called the Lawnmower 2.0 for a reason. They threw away the 1.0. Why? Because it ain't shit compared to the 2.0. And they upgraded the trimmer with a skin-safe technology. For you momos in the back, it means it won't nick or snag your nutsack. Now, the church family can get 20% off your first order when you use code CHURCH at Manscaped. This makes a perfect Christmas present. Order the perfect package, which I'll talk about at the end of the show, with code CHURCH, and they'll throw in a free travel bag when you use promo code CHURCH, CHURCH. That's manscaped.com. Use promo code CHURCH for 20% off your first order. The church is also brought to you by Netflix new podcast, Behind the Irishman. You've heard about Martin Scorsese's epic movie, The Irishman, starring De Niro, Pacino, Joe Pesci, and my brother from a different mother, Sebastian Maniscalco as Crazy Joe Gallo. If you haven't seen The Irishman yet, go watch it. Listen to me. It's a tremendous movie. I don't care what anybody tells you. Now, do me a favor. The first 2 episodes are out, and the final episode is coming out next Monday, the 16th. Spoiler alert. Watch The Irishman on Netflix before you listen to the podcast. Trust me. Search for Behind the Irishman on Apple products, Spotify, Stitcher, Pocket Cast, or wherever else you listen to podcasts. Watch the movie, then go Behind the Irishman. Kick this, Mule Lee. It's a beautiful day to be alive. Andrew, what's going on, brother?
How are you?
Great to see you.
It's been a minute. You know, that's why I'm drinking the coffee, trying to wake up for you.
I love it. I love it. I love the car you pulled up in.
It's the second one of those I've had.
You like it?
Yeah, I love it. Wait, can I take this off?
Yeah, you can do whatever.
I like hearing the music through it, though.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the other one I kept for like 10 years, you know, and then I just got another one. Because it's just, you know how in Hollywood, you know, God forbid, you know, if you're anybody, if you don't have the Mercedes or the Acura or the bullshit, and I got nothing. Mercedes is, I got to say, it's a machine. It's the greatest car on earth. But the Challenger is just fucking cooler. And that's why I got it.
What year is that one?
It's basically, is it a 19? No, I'm just saying. I think it's a 2019. Okay. Yeah. It's
and only you had like one before.
Yeah. The other one I bought like 10 years ago. You know, and they don't change them much. You know, it's just like the perfect car just for you and your chick. Like there's a back seat, but nobody's ever back there. You know what I mean? And I never went for little sports cars. It's a big car. That's what I like about it.
I don't give a fuck about BMWs, convertibles, nothing. I drive a Subaru.
Yeah, you drive what's right for you.
Subaru. I've driven one since 87. Why stop now?
No, you know what? It's what you like. That's what I'm saying. You know, I've actually had people,
I like a Cadillac. You know, I like the new STS Cadillac.
You know, that's a good car.
But I don't want to drop $800 a month on a lease.
But, well, I like the Escalade. The shorter Escalade is like muscly. You know what I mean?
Too big. I can't see.
Well, but, yeah, see?
Yeah, I can't see.
Everything's falling off.
Fucking see through. I could never. I had a truck for years in Colorado, and the right side always had dents. I had more dents on the right side than anything. And I don't know what it is about the fucking eye.
Well, I drove the truck for years, but I just am into this car. You know what I mean? It just feels good. Like I'm not like a 1 minute up guy. Like even though I got the car like a year ago, you know, it doesn't get old to me in 30 seconds where you treat it like garbage and you don't wash it and you don't. I'm into it. Like the whole time I had that other one, I was into it. Not that this means anything. I just, you know, really appreciate the things I have. You know, it just doesn't get up. What?
What?
Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm just happy you're here.
What kind of car you drive?
I drive a Jetta. I wish I had your car.
No, but I'm just saying. But you love your car, right?
No, not as much as you do. I just had just a car.
No, I really do. I like the sides of it. I was screaming at the fucking salesman because I thought I'd maybe get a Charger. So I went to the same place. I didn't even realize in Vegas there's a Dodge dealership like 3 blocks from me. So I go all the way on the east side where I got the first Challenger. And the guy, and I go, I'm thinking maybe I'll get the Charger, And, but, I have 2, and I'm thinking that because it's 4-door. So if I want to go out with my sons, they sit in the back, obviously. So, so I go to get in the back. I hit my head, because now what they do, they make that lower and they bring the glass, the back of the window, like half over your head. So I say to the salesman, I go, why would they do that? So if it's sunny out, you're just burning the top of your head? Like, why wouldn't they? He goes, well, I just sell it. I go, no, but you're the fucking salesman, and you have no answer for me. Then I sit in the front and I go, is the seat smaller than the Challenger? And he goes, well, I don't know. I go, do you ever sit in a Challenger? And he goes, yeah. I go, you ever sit in a Charger? And he's going, yeah. I go, and you can't feel the difference. You're going to stand here and just fucking lie to me now. You don't know why the glass is the way it is. You don't know why the fucking seat is the way it is. You don't even have a color I'm looking for, but yet you're telling me we'll give you a good deal. On what? On something I don't want? Is that what you're going to tell me now? And he's like, well, we could talk to the... I go, talk to the boss about what? I go, there's not a car here that I want. He goes, well, we could get you any color that you want. And I'm going, there's no... Do you understand? I go, a car is an impulse buy. I drove in here. I got in a certain mood. I go, all right, it's time to trade this one out. I'll get a new one, maybe the Charger, which makes fucking little baby seats. They go, because it's a sports car. And I go, and what the fuck is the Challenger? And I'm really yelling at the guy. I go, would the Challenger be, if we were in a fucking court of law, would the Challenger be considered a sports car? And he goes, yeah, I suppose. No, not suppose. This is what the guy, I go, it either is or it isn't. And he goes, yeah, it's a sports car. I go, so you answered the question. So I'm not buying the Charger because it's made out of shit. It's just a glass car, as far as I'm concerned, that's going to burn people's heads off in the middle of the fucking desert. I go, and you don't have a Challenger. You got all shit colors, no fucking sky roof where I could open up the sky roof. Is that what it's called?
Sunroof.
Does this one have a sunroof? This one that you're driving now?
Yes.
Okay.
Why wouldn't it? If that's what I was looking for. So then I'm told by a friend of mine in Vegas, they go, there's a Dodge dealership 2 blocks from you for the most part. And you're going a half hour the other way. So I go to the other place, and there it is. One of a kind with the shaker, the whole fucking thing. And I go, that's the car. Just give it to me, and take this. And that's the story of the Challenger. Because I know you like stories. But I really get mad at salesmen when they try to bullshit me. Because even years ago, a Cadillac, I don't know if they did this because of me, but I went to buy an Escalade EXT at the time. The square back. So I'm looking at the back seat. Once again, the salesman, they make like they know everything till you got a question. You know how the front has the captain seats?
Right.
Nice high, protect you. So the back doesn't have that, right? And I go, where's the highest seat? Even in the regular one, not the EXT, I go, where's the high, backs on the seats? Well, no, it's got the little thing. I go, the little thing for what? When you stop short, kids could just break their necks? That the head is above that shit? I go, so Cadillac is just going, fuck you, the adults count, but the kids, fuck them. Right? Fuck anybody in the back if you happen to have a fucking fender bender and your neck breaks off. I go, is that what you're telling me? You know, for the 3 cents more it'll take to build the fucking car, for the 90 or 100 grand that you want for the car, you don't get to support your neck. I got to worry who's in the back fucking seat if somebody bashes into me because you said, fuck them. Fuck grandma and grandpa, right? Fuck them. You know, I just fucking hate people because as I go on with life, just I realize how everybody's full of shit. Like, did you see me walk in here with any friends?
No.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because there are no fucking friends. You know, my mother taught me that when I was very young, you know, and of course you got to read between the lines. You know, in life you go, oh, this is a friend, right? You know, sort of, you know, till they ask me to buy them a car and then they're not a friend anymore. You know, then I just eliminate them from my fucking life because I don't owe anybody any fucking thing. You know, whatever I got, I fucking took in my life, you know, and, you know, people even say to me, like, yeah, I got to do this. Where am I performing? Tomorrow I'll be at the Stand, okay, which is, I just got to say it, on the 10th. And then also next week, the 17th and 18th at the Stand. And I'm supposed to say that. You know, they asked me, would you say that?
I'm happy you did.
No, I'm glad to see you.
Yeah.
Like, you know, even when I say, well, you know, I could do, you know, Joe Diaz, he's a buddy of mine. You are a friend, you know what I mean? But you're not a friend I'm with every day.
Right.
So it's like a pleasure to see you. You don't call me up and go, give me money.
I did call you,
You know?
2 days ago.
No, I'm saying, you know, to give you things.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? You know, and I'm not, you know, this is mine. I took the time to buy this in Baker.
That's a good choice.
You know, because I got a brand new girlfriend for the last like 4 months now, right? Which I'll tell you, but Eleanor got her for me.
Right, that's all.
And so on the way back from Vegas, I stopped at Baker, you know, and there was like these sandstorms. Like she couldn't even believe, you know, what are we doing here? And I go, no, you don't understand the candy they have at this particular place. And she goes, what candy? What is with you with the candy? And I look at her, I go, what's with you? You know, just because I'm over 20, I'm not allowed candy anymore? There's a cutoff date? They got the big Tootsie Rolls. They got the hot tamales in the box. See, what Hot Tamale tried to do was put it in little bags like M&M bags, you know? So I stopped fucking buying them. Like, you belong in a box. You know, like Good and Plenty. Good and Plenty don't come in a fucking bag. Comes in a box the way it should, like Mike and Ike.
Right.
With the multi-flavors, right? The hot tamales, you think they didn't go back to the box? Because they saw I wasn't buying them. So I got the Tootsie Rolls. She goes, I can't believe what you're walking at. The 5-year-olds coming in this gas station are not walking out with this much candy. And then I showed her in the car how to line everything up with the Mentos and, you know, like, because you got the, I like the Mentos, then the Tootsie Roll, then a Mentos, then a Tootsie Roll. You see, there's an order.
Yeah.
You know, then the Bubba Gum goes on the bottom part, and then the boxes go on the top shelf.
Okay.
You know, like the Hot Tamales, the Good and Plenty, the Mike and Ike's. And she's going, you're a man. I go, why can't a man like candy? You understand? It's what I like. She goes, well, you know, I know you told me your sugar level, like I had diabetes for half a minute, like everybody's getting. You know, like that's the hot, like God forbid you don't have diabetes. You're not part of the in crowd. That's why I stay the fuck out of Florida. They're all just the walking fucking
Oh my
dead.
God, yeah.
You know what I mean? I got to go there too this week, but you know, that's all right. You know, yeah. I don't even know the name of the place. I'm just going and doing it, and I'm getting the fuck out of there because I got the fucking relatives calling from 8 months ago. Okay, 8 months ago, they're calling. You know, are we going to hang out? Are you going to come over? Why? So you could bring the neighbor over 5 minutes after I'm there? I'm never going over. You understand? You know, 8 months. And I tried to explain with the texting. I go, I can't talk about a one-night gig I'm doing 8 months from now. I don't like to think about when I got to travel. I'm sure you're the same way.
the
I don't
same
want to
way.
think about it.
I'm what's in front of me.
All you care is that's
What's in
right.
front of me.
And then once you're on stage, you're at home, wherever you are.
Nothing drives me crazier than a friend of mine calling me going, hey, I see you're going to be in Jersey. Like today, they'll call me and go, hey, I see you're going to be in Jersey in August. We're definitely coming. It
August.
pisses me the fuck off. I called a friend of mine last week. I have a certain thing when I go on the road that whenever I have bad luck. I don't know what I do that I have bad luck. But every time I go to town, to my hometown, somebody's mother dies. I've never seen anything like this. So I get these people who call me and they'll go, we're coming. I bought 20 tickets. We're going to dinner at Spago's, whatever. They give you the whole lineup of what they're doing. Then the day of, at 2 o'clock, I'm on my computer, so I'll get the text messages. I'll get a text. My mother has dementia, and she left the house and got on a bicycle and fell off the bicycle. What are you talking about? The last time I was in Atlantic City, this guy tortured me for Stress Factory. I was just there October 24th. Tortured me for a year. I'm coming. I bought 20 tickets the day of. My father, the bag broke, so he can't piss. Every time I go home.
And who gives a fuck?
They call you
These
a year before the gig.
Are these relatives or just people
They're
that...
dear friends. I love them to death. But you want to let them know, like, listen, I don't really give a fuck about next August. Like, I'm not even thinking about next
who
August.
the fuck?
I'm thinking
And don't they have a job? Don't they have a job they don't want to get up
lives, careers. They have everything.
But they think like what you do is just a joke, not like it's work up there.
Right. So
you know what I mean?
They
don't understand. Like you're burning out your brain. You're doing an 8-hour day in an hour.
They get it now.
You know,
they get it now.
My family,
some of them off.
my relatives, they never got it. They never got it. Like when because after they don't get the response from me, they get to my sister. Okay. And my sister tells them, like, this is for the last, 2.5 years, I was, single. So my sister would say, if he hangs out with you, by the time he's done, he wants to meet girls. He wants to have a good time. He doesn't want to sit there and go, so what's new? Who gives a fuck what's new? I don't care what's new. As long as they're all healthy and happy, God bless, stay the fuck away from me.
Who's left in Florida?
You know, I got plenty there. I got
Uncle
plenty.
Vance, you talking?
Yes, cousins, and it's just like don't bother. And now I got a new girlfriend, so when I come there, I want to be with her. I don't need them staring and looking and judging. Get the fuck out of here. Put me on the list. What list? It's a shit house. You understand? It's a little fucking shit house that I'm having fun. I'm enjoying. Finally, after. I made it, in 88, so that's, 32 years ago. Normally a guy, when they make it, at that point, they're done by 94. It would just be over. But I'm which Joey knows my career, I'm one of those animals that just keep building it. So I'm finally at a point where I can enjoy my shows. You know what I mean? I love, I'm mentioning The Stand and Governors and, all these little clubs that I'll stay on for an hour and a half because I'm enjoying the craft of being a stand-up, and then, you get an asshole that wants to go, well, how come you're not at the Garden this week? That's not what I'm doing. Even when I did the Roseanne shows, and that was giant. I would look at that as giant. When you're in over 2,000 seats, it was 4,000 people that night. And we didn't even put 4,000 seats on sale. We put 2 on sale, but we did 4 out of, they ask you, can we add? Can we? Yeah, okay, great. And when I was up there, it wasn't fun for me. It was work, Plus, they want to get people back in the casino. And instead of drawing out the bits, and adding to them and making it great, you're just banging them over the head and getting rid of them. And I don't like doing that anymore.
I don't like doing that either.
I like these smaller places, and you really now I bring people on stage. I take pictures with them, through the show if I happen to like them, because you tell them, don't take out your fucking camera. Don't yell anything out. Don't film. You're going to get thrown out. Like I had a thing at the Laugh Factory a few weeks ago where I left the stage mentally, like on this one guy that was just drinking and yelling. And I go, this is now a personal thing to me. I go, I'm not in the show right now. I don't fucking like you. And you're going to ruin the whole vibe. I said, I will come there. I'll grab you by your throat and I'll throw you the fuck out of this room. I said, say one more fucking thing and see what happens. Like I just lose it because I don't want the 300 people that are there to not have a great time because of one guy that can't hold this fucking liquor. It's not like heckling 30 years ago where it was fun and you bounce back and they're just drunk. They want to yell something in the middle of a bit that makes no fucking sense. And I just destroy them or have them thrown out. I enjoy getting rid of fans. You understand? I know fame is basically new to you. The last couple of years is where your star has risen, so it's new. So you might actually like to meet people. Like I tell them on stage, I go, I'll give you everything. Just don't come over to me if you see me in the casino. I don't want to meet you. I don't want to take a picture with you that you're going to tell me you're going to grab my shirt and go, it's blurry, do another one. I don't want to sign anything. I don't want to hear some bullshit story that you made up or a friend of mine that's not even a friend that's been telling you for 30 years he's a friend. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to fucking know you. I don't want you to follow me. I don't need you on Instagram to me as like a goof, like I do it for fun because it's just there to do. And I get Eleanor like at her worst moments and I film her and nothing makes me happier than to see her get angry at me. You know what I mean? It's just an enjoyable part of my day when I could aggravate her, and because she's great at being aggravated. She hates her whole fucking life. So if I see her mad at me, I just hit the camera and I get whatever I could get out of her. And so that's enjoyable to me. But to meet somebody in here, remember when you came out with the poems? Yeah. No, when you first said and they start doing one, I go, I don't need you to tell them. I cut them off. Like I don't let them go through with the poem. I said, I don't want to hear my poem. I know my poem. No, but when you said, no, but I don't want to hear it from you. You don't know how to do it. You're an asshole guy. You're 60. Walk the fuck away. I'm not a people person. I love to be on stage, but I don't want to meet anybody because I know how most people are no fucking good. And I know it because I see them in their cars. And I see how these motherfuckers, no good in their fucking hearts, don't even bother to use the blinker. The closest thing that's right there.
It tortures me when people don't
right
use a
there.
blinker.
Why?
Pisses me off.
And it's a law, and there is a fine. You understand? And they could cause a lot of problems. People could get killed over this shit. Like, it's right there. Why not? Why didn't you use it? Why didn't you use your blinker? Why do you think making a U-turn anywhere is acceptable? Why do you think the guy pulling out of his spot wants to choke you to death? I saw a guy make one of those illegal U's and hit a car pulling out from the other side of the Ventura Boulevard, bashed in the guy's fucking door. I wanted to see that guy get out of the car and kill him. I really wanted to see it. And the guy that hit him had no fucking shoes. Forget about the flip-flops, had no fucking shoes. I wanted the guy that got hit to take a pipe and just beat him to death, and I would have watched it like a TV show. Because, and I don't see any cops stopping anybody doing this shit. You know what I mean? Just wherever you are, I'll make a U-turn here. Fuck everybody. The rules of the road. Nobody's paying attention. The simplest thing, a blinker. It
upsets me too. I hate when people get in an accident, they just stop right in the middle of the freeway.
How about on the train?
What happens on the train?
Where they sit down, they put their bag in the middle seat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And nobody wants to move their fucking bag. Cocksuckers, as you would say. No fucking good. And then when you ask them, you mind if I sit there? And they make the face like you're doing the wrong thing? I paid for a ticket, fuck face. You no fucking good piece of shit. And that's why audiences need to be treated as I treat them. Look, I'm not begging them to come see me. I don't care if anybody comes to see me. I don't even want them to, you know? But if they're going to pay me money to be somewhere and people want to pay to come, I can't stop them. You know, I'll entertain. I'd be happier with 10 people a show. You know what I mean? I could stay up even longer, no pressure. But they keep showing up, and it keeps getting bigger and bigger. Now I got this another. I was never going to go back to Australia, you know. So they keep upping the money, you know. And I'm like, you motherfuckers, I hate them. Do you understand? Like, you know, and everybody go, oh, you'll have a good time. I didn't have fun the first fucking time. Yeah, all right, I held the koala bear for 30 seconds. I could have lived my whole life out without ever holding one. You know what I mean? Because it's the whole Ford Fairlane thing, you know, that I had a koala bear. So I went to a koala park and I held one and it was very cute. But believe me, if I was 90 years old now and they go, do you feel bad you never held the koala bear? No. No. I don't like my dog. What the fuck do I care about a koala bear?
Can
what
you
am I going to
describe to people no pressure comedy to pressure comedy?
Yeah, pressure comedy, because I lived a lot of it, is, you know, when I did these bigger than life places, and, you know, I was never into the drugs or alcohol. I did it with a straight head. So when you're facing anywhere between 15 and 21,000 people a night, there's a lot of pressure because, number one, you feel them going through you, and that's what I felt in Atlantic City when I did the Roseanne show. Like, you feel the energy of the crowd going through you. Like, it's just too much, you know, and I train every day just about. But even back then, when I was 30, I would feel it, you know, and it was just too much because I did, you know, so many tours. It was, you know, hundreds of shows like that. And when you're in a comedy club, you know, rather when you're in a comedy club and nobody's expecting you to be, when you just do a pop-up somewhere, that's when I feel no pressure at all. You know, it's just like me in a living room full of people. Even when I'm in a club, you know, it's a small environment. You know, you could really feel your laughs. You could really stretch out your material, whatever bit it might be, and you come off stage like pleased with yourself because you got better at the bit and you added things to the bit, you know, rather than having to be in front of a big crowd and just bang them over the head for 50 minutes or an hour and go, it's not the kind of show I want to do. You know, that's the one thing I realized when I did those shows with Roseanne. I go, I don't need this. I don't need to be in these, you know, bigger than life places. It's just not what I want to do, you know. And so I've been enjoying, you know, the biggest should be about, it's weird how, you know, theaters have like, rather than 2,000, they'll have 1,900 seats, you know, so they could steal the other 100 seats that they're not telling you about.
Right.
It's really 2,000, but they, you know, you got to let people steal their money. You know, it's just how the business works, you know. I remember having an argument with a guy that had a theater talking about, well, where's my, you know, percent? Well, you didn't make percentage. You know, we gave 90 tickets, comp tickets, you know, and I'm going, what does that have to do with me? They're not 90 people for me. I'm not friendly with 90 people. You know, who am I giving the tickets to? You know, he's going, well, you didn't make the percent. I go, no, but I did because you gave those away. You know, it's on you. But I don't get mad. It's like that's just part of the business, you know, that you get ripped off, you know. You're still walking away with a bundle, you know, so I can't complain about that. But, yeah, I like being in a smaller environment. Like, you know, when I'm at the Trop in Vegas, to me that's like a home away from home, the Laugh Factory, you know. So that's why I do that like once every month, once every other month, and it's just enjoyable to me. It's like
Are you interested in shooting another special?
if I did another special, it would be the only thing I got in my mind is almost like a documentary / special. And I'm not talking about stage, show clips, stage, show. Anybody doing that, and I'm telling you, if you do like an hour, don't ever leave the stage, meaning don't go to, Joey on the bus coming to town and then back to stage.
To stage, I don't like that either.
It doesn't work.
It breaks it. It's like watching the stand-up special with commercials.
I'll tell you the truth. I'll never forget when Paulie Shore did his first special years ago, and he goes, "Can I throw a concept at you?" Because I was already Dice and doing whatever I was doing. And he goes, "So I'm going to do a special, my first special, and what I want to do, and he explained like being on the bus and then cutting to the stage and, then showing them with the fans and, all kinds of back to the stage." I go, "I wouldn't do it that way." I go, once you get, I don't care if there's a lead up to the stage. I think that's good, but once you're on the stage, you don't cut away. It's like when you watch Comedy Central specials, you get into the guy or the girl, and then they go to commercial.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, that's when I, go to jerk my dick off, and I'm not coming back. I'm just not coming back. Once it's gone, it's gone. Like, oh, let me rev up to laugh again. You know what I mean? It doesn't work that way. You got, once you're on, and he's going, "No, well, I want to do it this way." I'll never forget. Like after I give him the advice, I wanted to. I go, "So what the fuck you even asking me for?"
No, it's the worst.
And he did it that way, and it was an awful special. Not that Paulie's awful, but it was an awful way to do things. It's like it just doesn't work. So if I do, like the kind of project I want to do, it would be like, because I got hundreds of tapes of all that time, and it's like my son Max always says. He goes, "You're never going to be explained the right way till you explain it, because you know your story and you know how bumpy it's been and how rough it's been. That every move I've ever made has not come without the aggravation. It's just how the career and life has gone, and I don't mind that. It's just how it is, though. So, but I would know how to tell the story. Nobody's. Do you know who explains me better? You're Joe, Rogan. And I love when he does this, when he has a comic on, because they don't want to hear about anything other than themselves. And for whatever reason, Joe gets into talking about me to a lot of these guys, and they don't want to hear it. They're calm about it, but they don't want to fucking. And the calmer they are, the longer he talks about it. It's the greatest, because people will call me and go, "You got to see this clip from Rogan," because he talks about how comics are doing arenas today, but he goes, "But Dice, when he did it, it was different. It was an explosion in the country, but he's not like even I love Howard Stern, but even Stern never laid it out the way Rogan does, because it was happening when I was doing Stern. Stern was coming up. He wasn't the Howard Stern of today. He was going city to city and fighting all those guys and building his career. So I was the biggest thing in the fucking country, and I had more confidence than anybody I ever met in my life. So even he would never really give it up like that, But Rogan will go, "Hey, look, when Dice hit, it was like a bomb going off. It was
like a bomb going off.
And it's never happening again."
Don't lose that thought. I got to go pee. Keep telling Lee.
All right, I'm going to tell you.
Well, Ari has some great stories about him opening for you. And when you were talking about the audience, he told a story on his podcast about someone asked to take a picture with you.
Yeah.
And he made an eye contact with you, and he just didn't get you in the picture, in the frame.
Yeah.
And he said that was the right thing to do.
Well, that was in the days where there were cameras that you didn't have the instant, let me look at it and see if I need more, which I can't fucking take. And so the comics at the store knew when they take a picture, I'm not in it. For the most part. Like you might get a shoulder.
Right, yeah.
You might get an ear. But what was fun is when the person getting the picture goes, "Are you pointing the camera? It looks like the camera's a little too high." Because you might get like the top of our heads.
Right, yeah.
I'd love to see those pictures. Because there's thousands of them out there, which is hysterical.
Oh, I'm
You
sure
know,
there are. Yeah.
And we used to just crack up because it was like, it's just, ridiculous. I mean, if it was somebody that was really nice and pleasant, I would say it like this. I go, if it was Ari, I go, take a good picture, like a nice picture.
Yeah.
But if it was some hard-on, some drunken fucking asshole that I got to say, get your hands off me, you know what I mean? Because they get very touchy, I just look at them like I look up at the sky or something, and that's what the picture would be, like the moon,
And it's just like a game you play.
just a little game with the other comics.
That's so funny.
I
love all that stuff.
And that's also when I started filming, everything, with the comics, and I'd call it the show, and I'd come to the store with my fucking camera, and everybody had a part. Like Ari was the antagonist. He's the one this was a whole new group of comics when you started. Well, you might have been there a couple of years before.
Before 97.
Okay, so, but it was Ari and Renazizi and Maz Jabrani was the foreign comic. Mike Marino, for whatever reason, we called the Russian, which is hysterical. Steve Simone was Misery, always in a bad. But like you'd see like Ari talking to like James Painter, let's say, and going, what are you talking to Dice for? And he goes, well, Dice is, I want to open for him. He goes, no, he's nowhere. He's done. Like Ari was always that guy. But he's also that guy in reality. You know how he is. He badmouths everybody. Like there's a scene I got where Ari's talking to Sebastian, and Sebastian's going, what's Dice doing with the camera, around the and Ari's like, well, he's looking for something to do. You know what I mean? And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the whole fucking thing up on my YouTube channel.
And
now.
did you direct this, or did you just?
Yeah,
let it
no,
go?
I directed
Okay.
it. The first scene with Maz Jabrani is hysterical because he's like walking in the back parking lot, and I'm in my leather, whatever, I'm smoking, and I go, hey, you, and he's going, can I help you? And I go, yeah, I hear you're like from the middle or something. And he goes, the Middle East. And I go, yeah, well, I'm from Brooklyn. And he goes, I might be coming there. And I'm like, oh, yeah? And I'll be waiting. And that's like his first scene into the series that never aired on anything. It was the unknown series. It's hysterical. But everybody waited to film every night. That's why I became friendly with Rogan, because he would ask me, like, what are you doing? You're kicking waitresses out of the kitchen. I go, they're in my shot. He goes, what shot? What show is this? I go, it's just the show, And he's like, did you change all those lights? I go, yeah, I had to give it a mood. I go, it was very stark lighting, He goes, the whole kitchen's red, I go, red and green. Those are good colors for filming, or blue, Yeah, I changed all the fucking bulbs. This is during Comedy Store. I come up behind the guy in the original room. It was perfect because I didn't know he's this fucking ugly. And Dave Taylor's on stage, and I come in, I got the camera, so I'm seeing Taylor in the back of this guy's head, and I'm going, hey, asshole face. I'm whispering, and there's no reason. I go, asshole face, because I just wanted to call that to somebody, And this ugly motherfucker, ugly never wins in this world, I gotta tell you. One of the ugliest guys I ever fucking saw. It was perfect. Because when he turned around, I'm like, he really does have a face like a fucking asshole. And I go, you want to come with me a minute? And I take him outside and I get him on film, okaying. I go, this is for my TV show. So you got to say your name and that it's okay to use the footage because you're part of the show now. He's an audience member. The guy paid to come into the Comedy Store. And I'm treating the whole Comedy Store like it's my set. And it went on for months and months. My son Dylan, who was 9, tells off Ari while they're playing that stupid game up in the office. What is that game? Foosball, whatever the fuck that people waste their life on. So, Ari's playing with Dylan. Dylan's 9 years old, and and Ari's like, I don't think your dad's funny. He's playing the game. And Dylan's like, what was that? And he goes, I said, I don't think your dad is funny. And Dylan just goes, do you ever play the Forum? Like just asking him questions. Did you ever do the Mecca in Milwaukee? And Ari's like, what? He goes, have you ever, done multiple nights? Like Dylan knew a bunch of fucking shit. And he's burying this man, And Ari's looking at him going, I work, And Dylan just throws like giant fucking things I did. And then the next scene is I grab Ari by his throat in the kitchen because he took a piece of pizza that I went out to get Eleanor after she screamed at me that I couldn't find her a chicken sandwich because I was going with her at the time, and while she's screaming at me, a whole lot of love is on in the background. And you see different comics walk in and stopping, like Sebastian, bewildered, comes walking into the kitchen like, what the fuck is going on? Renazizi puts down boxes to see that I'm getting late. And then it cuts to Mike Marino, going, he's on the phone. He goes, I gotta go. Because he's the Russian. And that's the end of the scene. So by the time I got the pizza, I was just done. So when Ari took a piece, I just grab him by the throat and slam him against the wall and go, put the fucking pizza down. It's not your pizza. Because he's a pizza thief.
So 32 years ago, 1988, did you think you'd still be here 32 years later doing stand-up?
I didn't.
When you were doing those arenas, what the fuck was... You're like, when is this going to end? When is this madness going to end? Does it ever end?
Well, I did. I remember being, like we were doing, I think it was I called it To the Max, when Max was born, and it was a tour. Like I had to come up with all these names for tour. And I go, I'm good for this till about 40. That's how I looked at it. Like to do those kinds of things. Then I didn't know what I wanted to do, And I was only like 32 at the time, something like that. It was just a lot, And I'm going like this kind of energy, like to just keep blowing this kind of energy out. But, I knew I would do the stand-up. I didn't know how I'd feel about it, but I would be interviewed like that. People would go, where do you see yourself 5 years from now, 10 years ago, 10 years from now? And I would talk about probably more movies. That was more of going to be the stepping stone of what I wanted to do. But, I went through a lot of blackballing because of the controversy of Dice. All the stuff that the comics are dealing with today, I went through alone. I was the only guy getting attacked for my language and my subject matter, and the only one that, ever stood up for me was Eddie Murphy. Every comics I knew, that's why I say there's no fucking friends. I'd see him on morning shows bad-mouthing me. Going, I'm buddies with this motherfucker. It was unbelievable to see all that go on, but it wasn't going on to the country. It was going on to me. It was an attack on me. And I would just get angrier, and then I would get nastier on stage. Like my gay material back then was just funny jokes. But as the media kept attacking, I'm like, well, I'll just give them what they want now. And that's where I came up with, like the jokes were funny because I would talk about, I don't even do it anymore. Like, what was the gay jokes? Well, like I talk about the transgender thing today. I go, but years ago I called them trans testicles. You meet the girl. I said I would talk about the gays and the bis and, bisexual, you either suck dick or you don't suck dick. What do? Wake up in the morning, flip a coin, heads I want hair pie, tails, balls across the nose. And then you got these other things, I go, these trans testicles. You know, what is this? You meet the girl of your dreams, you wine her, dine her, take her home, you put your hand up her skirt, you're holding a tree trunk, you know. So back then, the half chick wasn't popular. You know, like nobody even knew what the fuck it was. So people would come after me for that, you know. So now I do a whole bit with, you know, of course, Caitlyn and that whole thing. And I go, but when I discussed this years ago, you know, I was just looked at like, what the fuck is this? You know, but I saw it all coming, you know, and I was just under constant attack. So then I added on, I go, and then, you know, when they get the AIDS thing, you know, they can't figure out where it came from. Because now I'm angry at the press. Now I'm going to do nasty stuff. Because the trans testicle, the bisexual, it's all fun bullshit jokes. But now I go, so then they get the AIDS. Oh, I can't figure out how I got there. What do you mean you can't figure it out? You're walking around with shit on your dick. You're bound to pick something up. You know, and that's when the media would go fucking berserk on me because AIDS was just happening. And, you know, and I'm like, hey, you're going to fucking come after me like this. I'm not going to show you any side of Andrew. It's all dice now. Fuck yous all.
How did Eddie stick up for you?
Oh, Eddie came out on Arsenio and said, I don't care what anybody says about him. He's the funniest guy there is. I'm going to see him at the Forum. You know, it was pretty amazing because he also pulled. Eddie used to come over to me. See, I'm glad what's happening for him now. You know, because he's the greatest. You know, from movie star to comic, just the greatest. I'm driving down over Laurel Canyon, like going towards Melrose, and Trini's with me, and she goes, "That's Eddie Murphy yelling." He was in a little Mercedes sports car convertible, and I'm in a 1970 Cadillac convertible, which you would love, you know. And he's going, pull over. And I pull on a side street, and there's a million cars coming. You know, it was great. Like, that would have made a great picture, you know.
Yeah.
And she's sitting in the car, and Eddie gets out going, don't you let them fuck with you. Don't you let them fuck. Because he used to come over to me at the Comedy Store. He'd come there with 20 guys when he was, you know, working on his stuff, you know. And he'd walk away from his entourage. He just dug me, you know, and what I do. And then when I took off, it baffled him. You know, like he even said to me, he goes, how do you draw 20,000 people a night? Because it just wasn't something comics did. And he's about as big as it would get. He did, like if he did the Garden, he did like his concert in the, it was called the Paramount at the time. It's 6,000 seats. Carlin did a concert there, did a special there. I did the sports arena. I didn't do the small room, which was amazing to do that room. But comics weren't thinking, oh, I'll go into the big room. You know, I'll go into the basketball arena. So he goes, how do you sell 20,000 seats a night? I go, what do your movies make, you know, $400 million? I'll switch any day you want, you know, because he was amazing to me, you know, and still is. Like, I love what I would call his resurgence now, because we all know Eddie Murphy doesn't need money, but if you're in this business, you like to be relevant, you know? And like, to me, that was even the thing when I took Roseanne out with me. It's like, she never has to work again as far as money goes. But what they did to her, I felt was just wrong, what the network did. And she just wants to feel relevant. So that's why I started doing some shows with her. That's what that was about.
Did you watch Dolomite?
Yeah, I watched half of it. And I love it. I loved it. It was just, you know, my house is like an after hours club. My sons are up like all night, and we started watching the Dolomite at 2:30 in the morning. So, you know, at about 3:30, I'm tired. So I want to, you know, go up, you know, and get stoned out and whatever, you know.
Do you think Eddie will make a comeback?
Well, it's done.
Stand up?
It's not even, you know what? I think he's one of the greats of all time. I can't see. I mean, he won't do that special till it's ready, you know, but it's something I'm looking forward to. I think
Andrew, how are you going to get ready if you don't go out? How are you going to get ready? You can't do stand-up in front of the mirror. I could get Andrew Chris Rock, Louis C.K., and fucking Nick DiPaolo and give you each $200,000 and give me 15 minutes of material. If I don't get up on stage and work that material, it's not going to work, Andrew.
Oh, you talking about Eddie?
Yeah. He's got to work out. He's got to work. I don't care what writers you get.
Yeah, he's training.
Where?
The gym. I don't know what he's got in his house.
No. I'm talking about stand-up.
Oh, the stand-up part.
Getting in front of fucking people.
How do you know what he's doing?
Because I would be at the store if I was him.
I don't know where he is. I don't know.
That's why if the minute Eddie Murphy pops on a stage, it's going to be on the front cover of Yahoo with Eddie and a microphone. Whether it's the Comedy Store, the Laugh Factory, the Improv, Bubba's Comedy House, the Black Comedy Club by the airport.
Okay.
If all these great writers got together and wrote him an hour,
you got to practice.
You got to work.
Did he say he's not going to practice?
I haven't seen him.
Oh, okay.
So I'm saying to myself, listen, I'm here because of him and you.
I think
I'm here because of him and you. I don't think you could just. I wouldn't. If you gave me $70 million for a special, I gotta fucking give you the best I can.
Well, I talked about it. I think that just knowing who he is, I'd want, like, you could take the money and run type of thing, but I don't think that's what it's about.
No.
I think it's about what I was talking about, the relevance.
The relevance, absolutely.
Because, I've talked to him about, like, even when he does, like, a rant in a movie, like how fast he would, like, deliver his dialogue, everything from 48 Hours to, even when he put, the movie he did with Owen Wilson where he plays the fighter, like his monologues, I would ask him, like, how do you do that? Is it written? Is it ad-lib shit? And he goes, you're an actor. You do. I go, no, but it's your tempo. Like, you lay out like 10 pages in a minute. It's different than knowing like a paragraph and then someone. It's different when it's these monologues. He's one of the greats. He's one of the
greats. But
I think he'll deliver. No matter where he gets it ready, I think he'll deliver.
Oh, no. I think he'll deliver, but he's got to get ready. When I asked you about no pressure and pressure comedy, is this. I shot 2 specials, and I hated the journey on both of them.
Yeah, well, that's going to happen.
I hated, looking back at it now, I fucking hated the whole thing. When I did the Netflix thing, when I got off that stage, I said, something's got to change. I don't like this. And I came home and I made a point. I'm 55 years old. You can't take nothing away from me now. I'm going for it. I don't want to shoot a Netflix special. I don't want to shoot an HBO special. I don't want to do nothing. I just want to fucking do stand-up. People get mad at me. Why don't you add shows? Why don't you sell T-shirts? Because it's the law of diminishing returns. I don't want to worry about a fucking extra large. Nothing bothers me more when I ask Andrew, how was your weekend in Connecticut? And you look at me and go, make sure you go up there. You're going to sell a lot of merch. So wait a second. You did 5 fucking shows, and you're going to talk to me about merch? I want you to talk to me about your stand-up experience. So I found too many comics were worried about merch.
Always.
And it fucking pisses me the fuck off.
You want to know something?
When I go into a city, I don't want to do your podcast. I'm telling you right now, you're not going to get me to do your podcast. Because when I get on a plane,
to do stand-up. Exactly.
I have a great fucking time doing stand-up.
Well, I will tell you, like, even the gigs I'm going to do, I don't bring T-shirts. I mean, I know the stand is making up shirts to sell, whatever, and that's okay because I'll wear it on stage, But I never really cared with the merch. You know what I mean? It doesn't really matter to
my
me.
wife sells it. She sends it online. That's great. I'm not bringing merch with me. There are so many.
I hate the word merch.
I don't like any of it. When the comic comes
Number
up to
one,
me and says,
I got to meet the people.
Yeah.
That goes back to meeting the people.
And if I did sell merch, if I sell merch, look at this. When you hit an 88 It was a different system.
No, I had it was all just a deal.
But no. But you hit on word of fucking mouth. You and I had this discussion that when you read for Crime Story, he called you when you were at West Orange at Rascals, that you had read and you did it backwards, and he called you 10 months later and you hit and all this nuts. Shit. It was fucking tremendous. And that's why from then, when I started going into auditions, I knew they had the camera on. And you told me, just let the camera go and do shit. So that's how I started booking stuff, because you told me to start booking shit. But what I'm saying...
Yeah, because everybody's going to read the same lines.
Everybody's going to read the same lines.
You got to give them something a little... That a director goes, I could direct this guy. You know what I mean?
So they watched Young Crime Story. They saw the special you taped from Philly. There was no internet. There was no nothing. Today, this starts with a tweet, Facebook, Instagram, a podcast. The completion of the circle is them coming to see you and then buying a shirt and you shaking their hand.
Yeah,
that's the completion of the circle. I love to do that circle.
Other than the T-shirt.
Except I don't want to sell T-shirts. Yeah. I don't mind going out.
When I'm done with a show, I like to sit because I'm burnt. You know,
I'm burnt. That's what I'm trying to tell people.
You just want to fall on the couch.
You know, the agents want to call you at a show. You know what? That second show, they're not going to get me.
Well, you know what? I did. I won't do 2 shows anymore a night. I do even in a club. But I did add a second one. You know, I'm very close with the owner of Governors, James. So, you know, I just got a text that, you know, it's gone. All the tickets are gone. It's only like, what can it be? Close to 600 tickets, you know. So I said, you want to know? Because he asked, would I do another one the next night? And I just don't want to. So I said, you know what? Just add it to Saturday night. I'll do it. But other than that, it's all one show a night wherever I'm going.
I want them to get the best of me.
Exactly. And that's one show. But that's one show.
I'm not 34 no more. I can't do 8 shows in a fucking week and give you... I can't do it.
How many did they ask you to do?
Oh, they'll ask me to add, like, last weekend, they wanted me to add one in Boston. And I told Blumenreich, no. I did 2. I did 2 at Town Hall. And I'm doing 1 at fucking...
Where was that? Is that Boston, where I went from?
Chevalier. So, you know what? I don't like doing 2 and 2. I'm going to be tired. It's a 3-hour fucking train ride. It's a 3-hour train ride on Saturday. Plus, I got my family in New York. I got to talk to my nieces, my nephews. They're all coming. So when I get into Boston, it's 4 in the afternoon. My show's at 7.
Yeah.
Those 9:30 people will get shit. I don't want to give them shit, so I didn't add a show.
Yeah,
I didn't add a show. I'm an econ major. I'm a law of diminishing returns. Yeah. You could just put so much in. You know, next year, I'm not going to do Thursdays. I'm leaving at 5 at night, get into your town at 11, 12, eat something, smoke some dope, get up and do 4 shows and get the fuck out of here.
Yes, even 4 sounds like a lot to me.
2 and 2 or maybe 1 and 1.
Yeah,
whatever.
I like the 1 a night. 3 nights is pretty good run.
I don't like
1 show a night.
I like Thursday night off so I could eat. I could go see the town.
Sometimes, you know what's a good schedule? Sometimes you do a Wednesday, take Thursday off, and do Friday, Saturday. Just 1 show a night.
Yeah, but that's 4 nights without my daughter. Can't do it no more.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Can't do it
I see.
more.
So you do 3 in a row.
Yeah. So I like Thursday, Friday. Like I'm doing Tempe. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But everything else is just Friday.
Have you been there yet? I'm going there in...
Tempe, Arizona?
Yeah, I'm going there, I think, in January.
The Improv?
One of Joel's rooms?
Yeah, phenomenal.
Yeah.
I love Tempe's one of my favorite rooms.
Okay.
20 years. They tried to switch me to Phoenix. I don't want to go to Phoenix.
I've
Leave
done
me in fucking Tempe.
You know, the new one. It's the newer one.
The new one is Phoenix.
I don't know where I'm going.
That's stand-up live. That's 600 seats.
Yeah.
I like it. It's a great room. It's a little bit too big for my taste. You follow me?
Yeah.
It's a little bit too big.
Uh-huh.
Me and Ari sold it out. I could sell it out. That's not the problem. I like the Tempe Improv. It's
How many
more
seats?
intimate. 3 something.
Okay.
More
yeah, that's a
intimate,
great size room.
A little smaller. You know, the agents always want money. Everybody's looking for money. I want them to have a good experience. The money will come. The money will come.
100%.
If I keep giving them good experiences, the money will always be there.
Yeah. You're supposed to run the career that you want to have. You know, that's why when you ask, like, what I want to do, you know, I'm going, yeah, I would do a doc/concert, but in a club. You know, and anybody that comes to me, that's why I tell them, I go, I go, it's part of the doc. The last half hour is part of a club set. You know, I go, that's how I would do it. I go, that's the only thing like I'd want to do.
If I shoot anything, I'm doing a 25-minute set in the main room, put it on YouTube.
See?
That's it. I have become, I was Mitzi's host for all those years, and I used to listen to her. She used to say little things to me. 60% of the shit was fucking out of this world craziness. Put on a Fidel beard and a handcuff.
Oh, yeah.
She loved that shit. You just had to avoid her. But she'd tell you something once a month. And after she died, and after what happened in Vegas with Netflix, I just decided I'd just go to the store now.
Well, what happened with the Netflix?
I just didn't do what I wanted to do. I was working out at the wrong places. I should have been at the store because metal sharpens metal. I didn't want people to see the material. I got into my head. I watched John Mulaney's special. All of a sudden, I'm thinking I should be John Mulaney and be clean. I want to give them something they
You went
haven't
through
seen.
this?
I went through this whole thing for no reason. And I got on that plane from Vegas, and I changed everything around. And you ask Eleanor at the store now, whatever comes out of my mouth comes out of my mouth. I could care less.
So did Netflix give you pressure to clean it up? Was that
No, not at all. Netflix was
okay,
great
so it
all the
was
way
you.
through. It was me. It was faulty wiring.
You can't be anything but you. That's what it's supposed to be.
What I didn't do. And now, when I've never watched that full special. I watched like the first 8 minutes when it came out on Netflix. I shut it off, and I swore that person would never come back again. When I go up there now, I'm a bolt of fucking lightning. I don't give a fuck what comes out of
See,
my
and I
mouth.
like the original room. You like the man. I like.
No. I love the original room.
That's my room. Like,
But there's so much action now in the main room that I've gotten good in the main room.
yeah. I just to me that's like doing a concert.
Yeah,
The main room.
The main room is like, it's big. You got to be big.
No, but I'd rather be.
But it's training. It also trained me for theaters.
You know,
I'm
well,
doing a
that's
lot
good.
better in theaters.
Yeah,
I'm
I
an
saw you
original.
doing a lot of
I'm an
this.
original room guy.
Yeah,
I'll
okay.
live and die. When I get my wake is at the original room.
All right.
Okay, there's no venereal funeral.
Why do we
parlor.
got to go to the morbid stuff?
Because it's the truth. I want to be buried under the fucking stage at the original room.
All right.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Wait a minute. I think we got a guest.
We got a guest. We got the
We
other
got-
podcast to come in.
Get in here.
Who did she want to meet?
Look, who's this cute little girl?
This is my daughter. Andrew, put that thing away.
Oh, yeah.
She-
No,
she
because I
loses
got
her
her
mind.
something.
Okay.
I got her something.
That's right. Look what he got
That
you, Mercy.
I never share my candy because I love candy.
Oh.
What's your name?
Mercy.
Mercy? How old are you?
I'm 6.5.
6.5? Look at you. You look like you just get. What kind of class were you just at? Here, come closer so, you know. Yeah, so you can tell the people, Mercy.
So my class was just movie tie, and it's called Team Bully Busters. It's like we don't really earn belts there because it's not really their thing.
But they teach you, like, to keep bullies away, right?
Yeah.
Show with Mom. Mom will put the targets
Let's
up.
see.
Kick her in the arm.
Well,
Kick in the other. Kick with the right foot. There
holy
you go.
mackerel. 6 years old and you could do that?
I've been practicing for 1 year.
Sir, I wouldn't mess with you. I might hire you to be a bodyguard, though.
All right, that's it,
She
Mercy.
loves it.
Calm down.
Doesn't it make you jealous that she's not out of breath? It's
yes.
amazing.
Not
All
even.
right. Well, for that little display, you win the award of a giant Tootsie Roll. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you.
That's for you.
Say thank you, Uncle Andrew.
Thank you, Uncle.
Now, where do you know Uncle Andrew from?
Star is Born.
Come on over. 'cause
A Star is Born.
Is he your favorite in The Star is Born?
I can't believe that.
There's one of the songs that I know called Shallow in there. I remember that song.
You like that song?
Uh-huh.
You like Lady Gaga and Bradley
Yep.
and
But
you
he was
find-
your favorite, right?
Uh-huh.
That's funny to me. What made you the favorite? Why am I the favorite?
Like, because when my parents just said that you actually were my uncle, and I just it just made me like was my favorite character.
Wow. It's so great to meet. I'm glad you came over here.
No problem.
Yeah, I always wear gloves. No problem? Is that what you just said? That's hysterical. You know. And how you doing? I haven't seen you forever.
I know.
Amazing. You look great, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know your parents for a long time.
Long time.
Long time. Like I was like, I think 9 years old when I met your dad.
Wow.
No, I wasn't that young. I wasn't that young. But for a long time, 30 years around that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When my hair was black, but like for real.
Okay.
Before I had
Remember when I showed you his stand-up?
Yeah.
And he did the nursery rhymes?
The nursery rhyme. I can't believe he let you watch that.
I can't believe it.
No, but you know what? I you know what agents are because of your dad and everything. So my agent, when I met his son, he was only 5 years old, and he had all of those memorized. Like, and my agent was going, "Go ahead, do another one. Do another one." And what was funny is that at his bar mitzvah, this kid's Jared Offa is his name. I made a tape where I'm wearing the Dice Rules jacket, and I thank Jared for the bit that put me over the top. And then you see him in my kitchen, because I'd film everything, doing the poems at 5 years old, like almost like he's teaching me the poems, And now he's 35 years old. Yeah.
And there's your jacket.
Oh, yeah, you left your jacket. Where is it?
Yeah, because she does a podcast on Tuesdays, Andrew. It's called Science with Mercy. And this week we did
You're a
turtles.
very smart girl. I could say pretty. Yeah, you got to know all that bully stuff. Keep all the guys away for, want to grow up first. Just keep learning that. You're really good with that stuff.
Thanks. I've been practicing for I just got into like last year and until today. I shared it with a lot of people and it makes me actually happy.
No, the kicks, everything. You got to protect your father.
I know.
You know what I mean?
So like I started with some other class, but it was on Tuesdays and Thursdays when in my swim class. And, I always had to wear my swimsuit out there, something like that.
So you do a lot of different classes.
Yeah.
So there's swimming, there's the jujitsu. What else? What else you like to do?
I do violin class
Violin.
and
You were in a play?
How long you been playing violin?
since I was in
Kindergarten?
Yeah.
Wow.
And you're in the choir.
I
And
have
she did-
choir class every single Sunday. I used to have sewing class, and I still have a lot of sewing stuff and a sewing machine too, with no needles in it.
So cute. So cute. She's the cutest thing.
This is what happens.
I can't even believe it. We'll have to take a picture, so you'll have a picture. You let your mom. You got your phone? Mm-hmm. We'll take some. Yeah, we got it with the microphone, the whole showbiz thing.
Okay.
Right? Come on in here. Come on.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is
This is the greatest.
podcast history.
But
been
she's
dying to
so
do this.
amazing.
She's been dying to do this. You have no idea.
I
This is
didn't realize
perfect.
You
this.
better do. You better send it to Eleanor. You
know-
better.
You know Eleanor? You know Eleanor?
She knows of Eleanor.
Oh, she knows
Not
of it.
met Eleanor yet. You need to meet up. Eleanor has to come up to the house at some point. TikTok.
Yes.
TikTok goes to clap.
So you're at the stand tomorrow night.
I'm at the stand tomorrow. I'm at the stand on the 17th and 18th. Tickets are on sale. We added a show at Governor's on the 14th. Where else am I going to play over there?
You're in Florida?
Uncle Vinny's.
Okay.
You know, what about Florida?
You're in there.
Why do you keep bringing?
I'm sorry.
Why you keep?
I'm
bringing up
Jewish. I have to
Florida?
bring up Florida. I'm sorry.
All right, well, that's just Florida happened.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right.
See, you don't know what you're doing.
My mistake.
Do you think
Mercy,
he knows what
we
he's
shouldn't let Mercy
doing?
talk again.
So,
Yeah.
And speaking of play, I also was in the play called Alice in Wonderland
Alice in Wonderland. Did you see the movie? Is on
on Disney Plus.
Well, I think it's also on HBO
She
now.
just watched
I saw
both
it
of
last
them.
night.
She just watched the new one with
Yeah, like the newest version of it.
Right.
You know.
When the Mad Hatter spins his head with the dance, and also the Queen of Hearts with the big head.
She's so great.
Johnny Depp did the one. We watched that one the other night.
And also I watched.
You like Johnny Depp?
Uh-huh.
I know him.
I
Do you know that? I know him. If I see him, I'll tell him you're a fan of his. You like that idea? Who else do you like? I'll tell you if I know them.
I would say the person that plays the Queen of Hearts, maybe. The Queen of Hearts.
Who's that?
Helen Bonham Carter.
Yeah, she's got to change her name.
And Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga, right?
Yes. I know Meg Donnelly. I know my favorite band actually was in a Disney movie too, and they're the Jonas Brothers.
Oh, okay.
And they're playing next week at the Forum.
You taking her?
She asked, but I can't take it to the Forum. There are animals down there.
I'll do it. I'll do it when I'm just a teenager. Don't.
Yeah, she'll do it when she's a
so
teenager.
great.
Yeah.
I'll do it when I'm a teenager.
Oh, she's ready to go. Yeah.
You know. Yeah, she's just she's full of personality. This, you're amazing, really.
Thanks.
Yeah. You know, all right, you got good parents. They're teaching you the right things. You know. My parents only taught me to wear the fingerless gloves. You know. They said, you got to live in warm weather if you're going to wear fingerless gloves.
Well, that was
see?
something you said that, again, I took your lead. You
What?
know,
What, handshaking?
no, you were talking about how you took a breather because you wanted to raise your kids. And I think that
Yeah,
a
I
lot of
have
people
two sons.
a lot of people in Hollywood, and we've known a lot of them, have kids as comedians, and you see the kids 20 years later, and the kids are jacked up. They're messed up. They
You know
don't
what?
What's going on? I
If-
didn't want that to happen.
If you don't bring your kids up or teach them, you know, what'd you do in life? That's how I really look at that.
No, that's what I do. That's
You know,
why I bring
to this
it here.
day, you know, the parenting never ends.
Never ends.
You know,
I
it
work
just
2
gets.
weeks a month for that, Andrew, to be home with her.
Yeah, you see that? You got a good daddy.
Thanks.
You really do.
I wanna be
He's
home.
so cute.
He told me everything that when he was a young boy. When he was playing ball.
Here,
in the house and
come
all.
closer so you can talk to the people.
So he told me everything about his life. So when he was playing ball in the house, and his mom always told him not to do it, but he keep doing it, and he had to take his toy to a person that was a young boy that was actually homeless, and instead to keep it as money. And I remember that he actually loves Alice in Chains.
Alice in Chains, they're
I also
great.
have that on my phone.
Do you like them?
Yep.
I like them.
I like Down in the Hole.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah, she likes Down in the Hole. It's my girl.
I have them on my phone.
You do?
Who else do you like?
I also like
Crazy Train?
Crazy Train, yeah.
Ozzy Osbourne?
Uh-huh. And
Scorpions.
of course Scorpions, yes. I would say
Scorpions?
Rock you like a hurricane, right?
yep.
Wow.
Well, next time his boys have a rehearsal, maybe we'll take you.
And also Jungle. Welcome to the Jungle, remember?
That's right, Guns N' Roses. That's
My
right.
boys are a rock band. My sons.
Wow.
Yeah.
So maybe you go see him rehearse.
And they're
sometime.
called No One Cares.
Wow.
So you tell your father, get some of that music for you. You'll like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this was a very family fun
Yeah, this was
orientated
like the Christmas,
podcast. This is the Christmas dice.
This
Think
is
of
my
the
first,
first part of this podcast.
this
Like
is
how
my
nutty.
first time being watching on a TV or something like that. The other ones I just do it on my dad's phone.
You see that? Here, stand in me. So, here, there's
I can
the
see
cam- Say, wave to your fans. You see? Is they getting
I hope my
it's that-
friends are watching this. Please, Nikita, please watch this.
Nikita's one of her friends from the second. All right, sit down, honey. Let me wrap this up, my little angel of love.
This was great. I'm
This was
glad.
great.
I'm glad
This
we
was
were able to
great.
get together.
Thank you.
The holiday podcast.
This is it, the holiday Dice's holiday podcast.
Best
is-
That's the name.
podcast in the universe. Thank you. This is the family win. I'm also in it. See?
I love you.
If you just
Same.
I'm definitely gonna do that jitsu with you.
Okay.
So please.
So Tuesday, tomorrow night, you're at the stand.
Tomorrow night.
Next week, you're at the stand.
Next week again. I keep looking at the day 17th and 18th. You know, and then the rest is like gone. You know, everything's gone. You know,
Well, I hope you come on in 6 months. Thank you for
Sorry
always.
about
Thank you for
It's
always
okay,
being.
it's okay.
Thank you for always being a great mentor.
thank you,
I have followed your footsteps, and
and you're doing amazing.
I'm just happy that you're still around. I love you with all my heart, bro.
Thank you.
Tomorrow night, the stand. Next week, the stand. I'm at the Ice House the 21st for Christmas with Uncle Joey, and then Calusa the 27th, and San Francisco Performing Arts Center, I think, on the 28th. Go on the website. And without that, I'll see you savages Wednesday. I want to thank the legend, the heavyweight king of undisputed king of comedy, Andrew Dice Clay. I want to
Thank
thank Mercy Diaz. I want to thank the Christ Killer. But most importantly, I want to thank you guys for supporting and the whole thing. I'll see you guys Wednesday. Stay black. And now for a word from our sponsors.
All right, I want to thank Dice. I want to thank my daughter Mercy for crashing the show, and my wife. And I want to thank you guys. But before that, I want to talk to you about a few things. I don't know if you've heard about Martin Scorsese's new epic movie, The Irishman, starring Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, and Joe Pesci. And my brother, Sebastian Maniscalco, as Crazy Joe Gallo. If you haven't seen The Irishman yet, go watch it, okay? You'll hear from Charlie Brandt, the author of I Heard You Paint Houses. Find out how he uncovered Frank Sheeran's story. Learn why De Niro fell in love with the book and how they got Joe Pesci out of retirement. Get inside the look of the tricks they used to de-age the cast. Behind the Irishman is hosted by a member of the church family and my brother and one of the stars of the movie, Sebastian Maniscalco. So do me a favor. The first 2 episodes are out, and the final episode is coming out next Monday. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Watch The Irishman first on Netflix before you listen to the podcast. 13 million people can't be wrong. The movie's tremendous. Search for Behind the Irishman on Apple products, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Pocket Cast, or wherever else you listen to podcasts. Watch the movie, then go Behind the Irishman. The church is also brought to you by, listen, this is the best Christmas present you give a man, all right? You ladies are sitting there, what am I going to give my boyfriend? What am I going to give my husband? This is it. Manscaped. You're going to give him the Lawnmower 2.0. It's called the Lawnmower 2.0 for a reason. They threw away the 1.0, and they upgraded the trimmer with skin-safe technology. For you momos in the back, that means it won't snick or snag your nutsack. You want them to lick your nuts? You got to shave that fucking thing. If not, it smells like fucking dead hummus. Manscaped makes a great gift for any guy. Trust me. Grandpa, your dad, your boyfriend, your husband. Place one order to take care of everything you need. With the perfect package, you get the lawnmower and the safety razor. Plus, they're going to throw in the crop preserver, a deodorant for your nutsack, and the reviver. It's like the CGI in The Irishman. It takes the wrinkles out of your nutsack. It's a sprint that tones and refreshes your fucking nuts, and it keeps you cool. With the perfect package, you'll be smooth as a snowman. What are you waiting for, dog? Right now, the church family gets 20% off your first order when you use promo code CHURCH at manscaped.com. Order the perfect package with the code CHURCH, and they'll even throw in a free travel bag, which I use. It's tremendous. I carry the Manscaped in there, the 2.0. I charge it on the road. I trim my nuts on the road. It's tremendous. But remember, use promo code CHURCH. That's manscaped.com. Use promo code CHURCH for 20% off your first order. Get Manscaped and keep your balls clean. I want to thank Dice, my daughter, and all you guys and the rest of the church family for supporting us. We'll see you Wednesday, all right? Kick this motherfucking mule, Lee.